Um, well, it was last night. Andy Flower gave me a call and basically just took me for a beer. And while we were sitting having a drink, Jimmy Whittaker called me. So yeah, really chuffed and almost felt a little bit surreal to get the call and kind of get the nod to go to what I suppose is a very special place, India. So yeah, very happy, very chuffed. Um, Tried to pinch myself a couple of times last night to try and just see if it was real or not. So it's been a bit of a surreal 6 months to be 100% honest. So yeah, I mean, in the last sort of 12 hours, my whole world's been kind of turned upside down, which is absolutely awesome. I mean, coming from training yesterday to getting an England call up to telling family and seeing my mom in tears last night to seeing my dad speechless, which is probably two things that I've never seen. So yeah, I mean, it's been an incredible 12 hours or so, or 24 hours, whatever it's been. But yeah, in the next sort of 24 hours, in the next 12 hours, you've got a Lions game to focus on and try and win that.
You must feel really confident, after the season you've had. You must feel really confident in yourself and your own abilities that you can go out there and not just plug a hole, but really show what you can do on that stage.
Yeah, hopefully. Look, I think in sports sometimes you need a little bit of luck as well. I think you can always go out and get a couple of good balls, and kind of that's your lot. So hopefully a little bit of luck kind of comes my way if I do play. But I think I've also been blessed in the way that the last 2 weeks has really kind of fast track any sort of preparation. I think if I hadn't been involved with the Lions side and Andy Flower and the guys here, I would have been sitting in Joburg, maybe done a little bit of gym work, and suddenly you get the call and you've got to kind of backtrack the last kind of 6 weeks or 7 weeks. So I think I've been blessed in the fact that we've been put through a really hard regime the last 2 weeks, and we're probably in the best position we could be in if we hadn't actually been involved.
Presumably, you've been watching it and you've been clocking the sort of challenges they're facing out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's been a lot of spin work that we've done with Andy and Graham Thorpe. So hopefully it kind of holds me in good stead. I suppose there's only one way to find out if it's worked and if it's kind of been effective. But I mean that's part of the challenge as well, and it's doing it under pressure in front of millions of people watching you and kind of in probably one of the hardest conditions. So I'm really looking forward to it and really looking forward to going back to a place that I loved as a bit of a tourist. So I mean, going back to India is awesome. It's really sad to see Haas get injured. He's played phenomenally well for a guy of 18 or 19 to come into a test series in India, which is arguably probably the hardest kind of challenge. So he's played brilliantly well, and for him to fight through and get 59 or 60 red in the last game was phenomenal. But yeah, definitely really looking forward to getting going and joining up with the guys.
It's such a quick turnaround, although obviously, like you say, the last 12 hours has been pretty mental for you. You've got things to focus on, and then all of a sudden, pretty quickly, you're going to be off to India and got a pretty big job to do there.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. I've kind of sat down with my uncle a little bit last night, and he just kind of stressed the point of trying to focus on what's actually in front of you. With so much going on, he's tried to kind of stress to me the importance of staying in the same process and kind of focusing on what's actually in front of you and what's going on. So I mean, what's right in front of me now is the next couple of one-day games with the Lions and trying to lead them as best as I can and try and put in a couple of good performances, and then worry about kind of whatever happens after that. Worry about the flights and visas and whatever else has to come after that. There's kind of a huge honour as a player to play at the highest level you can, and then to try and lead the team at that level. So yeah, I mean, very happy and honoured and humbled that Andy and his team have kind of blessed me with the opportunity to lead the guys for the first couple of games. So yeah, really looking forward to kind of giving it horns and trying to kind of start off on a really good track after what has been 2 really hard weeks training, but 2 really awesome weeks training.
And just finally, you've already mentioned kind of your mum and dad's reaction. You said a lot over the season about the work you've done with your dad and your uncle. It must be a very, very proud moment for them and for you, to see all this paying off and really taking you to the top level of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think my dad's shoulder's hanging off at the moment, so I think he's very happy. But yeah, I mean, like I say, to see my mom in tears last night and to see the pride, I suppose, that you give family and loved ones and the joy that they can have for you kind of unconditionally is something really special. And I suppose moments that, regardless of if I play or not, those are a couple of moments and a call and a beer with Andy that nobody can ever take away from me. And it's been a special 12 hours, regardless of what happens going forward. And yeah, I mean, to see my dad not have anything to say was something really awesome and really special, that I had kind of given him that pride and that kind of sense of relief, I suppose, in a way, because as a father as well, you put a lot of energy and a lot of time into your kids, and for him, this is his profession essentially. So it's really happy, definitely.